on your post shift, we have to create a shift. We have to see how we can manage a shift. So right here, what you need to do is you just come right here to your far right. You need to give it a name. Say, for example, you want to create a shift. Let's give it a name. We can say nice. Let's just say easy shift. Easy shift. So let's just say easy shift. So the easy shift right here, it will be a regular shift. Remember, a shift can either be a regular, holiday, or call out. So the regular shift is a normal day-to-day shift. A holiday shift is like, for example, in the US, you guys have your Memorial Day or something. Any holiday that you have your Independence Day or something like that. When you don't have caregivers, everyone is out, you need caregivers to cover your shift. That shift will be a holiday shift. And then you might want to add some incentive, because you need to set that shift to be on holiday shift, because the calculations of the hours or the calculation of the billing is a little bit different, so that when you're doing your billing, you will know that that shift was a holiday shift, so that if caregivers come with problems in the future, you guys can sort that out easily. So make sure the shift term is correctly stated right here. If it's a call out, you might want to select the call out option right here. So you do that and you're fine. Good. So we move to, let's just leave it up as regular. So we now move to the company. We move to the caregivers hourly rate. So let's say you're doing 21. Let's just say you do 20 for the caregiver. And right here for the status, for the shift status, very important. Note that for the shift status, the shift might either be open. For open shift, when you select open shift right here, this shift is like a blast. It goes to all the caregivers within the company's profile. So every caregiver is going to receive a notification for an open shift. So they can call the scheduler and notify their interest for that particular shift. And when you still do this, the shift is going to be available on the search tab. On the search tab, you will have access to that shift on the search tab. So I will take you through that later. So but when the shift is open, when you set the shift to be open, it means that you're giving it access, you're giving the shift access to other caregivers. So other caregivers. But when you choose assign, you are selecting just one caregiver. So you select just one caregiver for assigned shift. If you want to blast the shift to all your caregivers, set the status to open. The shift will blast to all your caregivers. All of them will receive notifications via email and via telephone. So for assigned shifts, you are assigning just one shift to a particular caregiver that you have in mind already. Let's say someone contact you for an open shift. Hey, Miss D, Miss T, whatever. I want to cover that shift. I'm interested. I need money. I need more hours. I don't have hours. Say, okay, I'll give you that shift. You come here, you assign that shift to the particular caregiver, so that only that caregiver will have a notification. So for now, just do assign, but the other status. The status here we have active. When a caregiver is stuck somewhere and they cannot contact you, they need you. They need a scheduler. They need the management of the company to make that shift active. Guess what? If the shift is not active, they're not going to get paid. They won't receive notification that the shift has started. So you need to make the status to be active for the caregiver if they cannot clock in on their own on the caregiver side of the app. So if they have issues with their mobile phone or whatever, internet connection, or they're in the wrong place but they want to clock in, they call you, they say, hey, Miss this, I'm at the client's house, but I cannot clock in, someone cannot clock in, can you please clock me in? You need to come to the daily monitor tab, and you will see the particular shift that is online. Then you have to clock the caregiver in. You have to make the shift status active so that the caregiver will receive a notification that his or her shift has started. So that is what you need to do. So the next status we have is serviced. That is when the caregiver has done and is clocking out and having issues clocking out. So they forget clocking out the shift. You have to call them and verify that everything went well, the shift went well. Then you can mark the shift as serviced. When the shift is marked as service, that is when you have the shift here and on your report side. So you come here for your reports and for your shift tags. That is when the caregiver now can can log in the tags and make sure that every other factor has been maintained when it comes to shift management, so that when the billing comes, the shift task has been completed and the caregiver's report is available for printing. So that is when you can set the shift as service. When the shift has been completed, when the caregiver has successfully serviced that shift, you mark it as service. So for no-show, you want to mark 2, but no-show is a rare case, but if you want to do it, it's still fine. So I'm just taking you through this so that you know how the interaction, how the app functions, or how the app deals with the various status, how they react when you set your shift to these various status. So there you go. So we'll leave it at assigned. So it goes to just one caregiver. So we want to put the hourly rate, client's hourly rate here. We leave everything just as we see. We can put for overtime. You can put any figure for caregivers overtime. Say you want to do, let's say 23 per hour for extra motivation. Then you're doing your client. This is just a name, please. This is just for descriptive reasons. The name is just VIP client 1. Don't mind. I did that. So right here for the caregiver, you just choose your caregiver first. Your caregiver first. You select any caregiver. For the company, for every company that you choose, you are going to receive your stack of all your caregivers right here on the drop down. So you can select which caregiver is interested in the shift. Then you can log in the caregiver's name right here on a particular shift. The next one, you want to pick up the location for that particular shift. Where is the shift located? Let's say Beverly Hills. I like that name. So the next one, you go to the total number of hours. You don't need to key in any figure right here because the system will automatically calculate your total number of hours for that particular shift. The moment you key in your start time and your end time, the shift will take your end time minus your start time to have your total number of hours. Let's say, for example, your shift starts today. Let's give it a time. Say it starts at 9 p.m. to tomorrow 6 a.m. for example. That would be too long. Let's take tomorrow for, let's say 12 a.m. So we have 23 hours. So we have 27 hours. No, let's still do to Tuesday. We do 4:30 p.m. or let's say 4 a.m. Sorry. Right there, when you do that, you see that automatically your total number of hours has been calculated successfully. It is the same logic that applies to your geographic location. This is very important for the clocking aspect of the app. Please note that your geo address is very, very important. The manner in which you enter your geographic address on this map site determines how the caregiver is going to clock in that app. If you enter a wrong address, they won't be able to clock in. They won't be able to clock in because the geo location is going to be faulty. So when they move with their phone and they try to clock into the app, there will be a problem. It's going to reject that particular action because your address is not properly entered into the system. So right here, I will just take it, I will run you through how you can enter your address in the correct format. For this shift description, it is not really important. You can write anything. Say Miss Jane is very speaky. Miss Jane is a nice woman. Miss Jane is this. Miss Jane is this. She needs her tea by this time. She needs her food by this time. Anything, simple description, you lock it in here, you're good to go. The next one is your geo address. Like I said, the geo address works with the Google Map API and the satellite API that has been pre-installed or pre-coded in the app that you need to make sure that your address is entered in the right format. The format is the street name, your client's street name, comma, your client's town or city, comma, the short code of the state that your client is located. Say if you're in California, it will be a CA, then followed by your the zip code of that state. So followed by the zip code. So they're very important. So your California, you have the short code of your state and the zip code of the client's address. The zip code of the client's address, comma, the country is the USA. So you have to follow this nomenclature. You have to follow this format. It is very important to have your geodata correct before you save your changes. Very important. Make sure your geodata has been entered correctly. Then you hit the save. You can hit the save changes right here. So shift was successfully updated. So when you come here, you see that your shift on Tuesday has been moved, a new shift has been created here on Monday today, and this is the shift that we just created. So when we have here, it's easy. If you want to edit this particular shift, you can just come here to where you have your shift on the post shift or scheduling dashboard. You click on that particular shift. This information that you have here is pre-filled. When you click on your shift here, to your right, all information on that particular shift is pre-filled to your right, to the entries to your right, so you can edit whichever field that you want to edit. You can make sure that everything works nice and slick here. You just edit the field right here, and when you're done editing, don't forget to save the particular shift so that everything will be good to go. So this is a shift, everything has been created, it appears here. And make sure that, and always note that for the blue sign shows assigned shift that has been serviced will show a different color, shift that has been scheduled will show a different color. So this is how you create a shift, this is how you edit your shift, this is how you add your shift. This is the clean overview. You can fill in the figures just like we did. Everything is the same. Don't forget to pick a caregiver, pick your client. You enter your start time, your end time. The app will calculate your total number of hours for you. Make sure your Joe address is correct before you save. You can come down here and add your shift. When you enter all these figures, this button will become blue. You just click add your shift, then you can check your shift on these ties here, your ties where you have your rows and column, and on which date that shift has been created. One more time, you just verify that everything looks nice and slick, then you're good to go. So that will mark the end of this particular video. I will just end this recording right here. So I will catch you on the next one. The next one will be daily monitor. We'll work on that daily monitor tab on the next video. Thank you very much. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the daily monitor tab. So still on the company page, we are on the third tab, or let's say the fourth tab after the settings tab. So we are on the fourth tab, that's the daily shift monitoring. On this tab, you have a company name. You will see the monitor today's shift will be the description that you see. You have the total number of rows or total number of hits that you will have for that particular day will pop up right here. So let's say you have 7 shifts for that day. For that Monday, you have the 7 shifts. All of them is going to populate right here. You will see them on this tab for that particular day. So this is your go-to day for a scheduler. A scheduler comes here, look at the shifts that have been scheduled, look at who is working, the caregiver's name is here. They look at the caregiver's name right here, look at the client's name, you look at the start time, look at the end time, the total number of hours, you look at the status of the shift, if the shift is assigned, if the shift is serviced, if the shift is active. You might want to look at it here so that you know that which caregiver has not clocked in. You can come right here and go back and pick up your phone and hit that caregiver up. Call the caregiver. Where are you? You have not clocked in. What is happening? Are you at the client's house? Let me help you clock in. If the caregiver is at the client's house, you verify with the client. Let us call video. Once you confirm, you can update the status of the shift right here. So right here, you can just come here, you click on this button, you can update the shift right here. You can either update to, like we said, we can update to assign, to active, or service, or no show. Remember, when you click on open, it means you're making the shift open. You're making the shift go to all your caregivers. That one you might want to be careful right here before you click this button. So just a word of advice, make sure you know your exact ETA of your caregiver for that particular day before you can click this. You can update the status of the shift to go active. So right, that one is out, so you know you can add your tax right here. Caregivers can add your tax. Let's say they forget to add your tax on their own interface. They call you, hey, scheduler, I cannot, I forgot updating my tax for my particular shift. Could you help me? I did this and this for the client. You just come here, you can pick all the tax, you can update the tax for the particular caregiver right there. So same thing, I took the client out, we went, I spent $50 on gas, key in that figure here, key in the $50 right here, key in that figure here. So when you key in the figure, say for example, the caregiver did 15 miles of travel with the client, then they spend for tickets, they spend, let's say 25. Remember, the 15 miles, say the company is reimbursing $0.5 per mile, they will calculate 0.5 times 15 plus your $25 for yeah, say this one is, sorry, okay, this is the miles, yeah, so you do your, let's say 10 miles, so they'll calculate 0.5 times 10, 0.5 per mile times 10 miles will give you $5 plus your $25 for ticketing. So that is how you do. When you do you save, guess what? The values will automatically be updated in the database. So you have a caregiver's refund will have to pop up right here so that you see it. So don't forget, when you do that, you save. So yeah, when you save that figure, the caregiver will also see on the side that they will need to be refunded of their money. Yeah. So yeah, that's it.